This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Trade.
G'day punters. Betting together has never been easier than it is with Sportsbet's Bet with Mates. We're heading into an absolute sporting bonanza here. The Australian Open, the Big Bash is going to hit the finals. Everything is happening, but most importantly, the NBL. So whether it's your mate who's just betting on that 89th ranked Russian challenger that you know nothing about, he'll help you out with the tennis, but you can be the one to jump in there with the NBL. We've got plenty of games that are going to start to rack up now. Hopefully the delays are all done and we can finally crack back into the season. But I'll tell you what, the best thing about Bet with Mates is you can set your max stake, and now you can even rate your mates' bets with emojis. I know I'd be getting plenty of angry ones for some of the losses that I've copped, but hopefully not you. Enjoy and gamble responsibly.
It may be one of the biggest games of the season on Sunday, the Win Entertainment Centre. A huge test for them, a huge test for Illawarra. Hottest team in the league. There's a man who knows how to bury it through. Upstairs. Now we've got ourselves a ball.
Go hard like A-Day. It's game time like game day. I ball hard and clutch play. It's game time like game day. Now let the games begin.
When the fixture dropped for round 7, this was the one that we had circled. In fact, of all of the games that we've seen in the Hungry Jacks NBL so far, this may be the biggest of the lot. Hello and welcome to Sunday afternoon basketball as the Illawarra Hawks take on the red-hot Melbourne United. Jack Heverin joined in commentary by the dynamic duo Andrew Gaze and Leonard Copeland. And Copes, Melbourne United are flying at the moment.
They are, but this is a real test for Melbourne United. They get to go up against a high-powered team in Illawarra with the likes of Harvey and Jessup. And Dean Bickerman gets a chance to unleash his boys of Delavadova, Illy and Agata to see if they can shut that offense down.
Andrew Gaze, good to see you. And the Illawarra Hawks are coming off a really, really important win on Thursday over the Sydney Kings.
It was, and they were impressive. And that man on your screen, Tyler Harvey, he did well. His shooting numbers, percentage-wise, have been a little bit down, but he was 6 or 7 from the three-point line and had his 23. But Sam Froling, that man on your screen, boy, did he step up when they needed him most. 27 points and 10 rebounds. He has just been growing and growing. Every season we see him, every game he seems to improve. And he's got his perimeter game going, penetrating to the basket. That middle on ball with Tyler Harvey and him, and the way in which they were able to distribute the ball. There we see the starting lineups. And this season, Brian Goorjian has really tightened his rotations up. He's got 7 guys averaging in double figures. Outside of that, the other guys are playing complementary roles.
Well, coming off a career-high night against the Sydney Kings, Sam Froling caught up with our own Joe Healy before today's game.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Great to be here in Wollongong. I do have Sam with me. Sam, you were the star of the show on Thursday. What's got you in such good form and playing with so much confidence, especially given you had so long between games?
I think that little break was real good for us. We got a lot of time on the court. Let me get my shot feeling a bit better, and see the first 2 go through it. Gives you an absolute boost of confidence.
You've got Harry behind you trolling you just there. Obviously feeling relaxed before this one, but it doesn't get any easier today, I suppose, especially the matchups with their bigs, Jayla and Ariel Huck-Porty. What's the mindset coming into it?
Yeah, I mean, Melbourne's been one of the best informed teams to start this season. They're a lot to deal with, and they work real hard. They're high on the energy end, so we got to match them there. And then we just got to stick to our game plan. Last year we made the finals playing hard and playing defense. That's what we've got to come out and do tonight.
Sam, thank you. Good luck.
Thanks.
Sam Froling was outstanding, and it meant that he could pick up the load a little bit, Copes, with Duop Reith having a quiet game. I'm not sure Duop can have a quiet one in this one, though, because Joe Lawala-Chul, his opponent today, is averaging really, really big numbers.
And that's right. Joe has never seen a shot he doesn't like. And the good thing is he's scoring well. He's doing a good job when the ball goes down low, shooting a high percentage. But I just think if those 2 guys go at it with each other, then obviously Big Joe needs to come out on top.
Well, he's averaging 21 and 10 his last couple of games, and they're playing within his system, and the system is get Joe the ball and everyone else get prepared to rebound, because we know what's going on, and that's not by accident, it's by design. You can see the touch, the little spin moves, the way in which he can get up and down the floor, use his length. He's turning into a real handful for our opponents.
Here's the DoorDash starting 5 for Melbourne United. Hungry, thirsty, all of the above. You can just DoorDash it and place your order now. Jack White back into the starting lineup on Friday's game, which was important for them. And they're pretty steady now with that starting group of theirs.
Well, they are. And Dean, unlike Brian, he's using a lot of players. He's getting these rotations through. In fact, statistically, I think they've got 11 players averaging in double minutes. Now, there's a few anomalies in there, but it just goes to show the way in which they are using their players. Matthew Dellavedova, this is really, Copes, the game where he can be at his most. Guarding guys like Bryce Cotton and Harvey is really what they brought him in here for.
Absolutely. He's not going to fill the sheets with scoring and rebounding, but what he does do is bring the defensive intensity, and the team gets behind him. So if he can shut Harvey down, he's done his job.
And a big congrats to the winner of today's Game Time by Kmart Ball Kid, Arlo. Well done, Arlo. You can head to the NBL website to find out more about having the Game Time by Kmart experience at your school. The second-placed Illawarra Hawks taking on the 4th place Melbourne United.
And you think of Matthew Dellavedova, and here we are. Gee, he's got his hands full here with Tyler Harvey, and he's also going to have to probably spend some time on Justinian Jessup, and let's not forget about
Rattan
Mays, who's done some really good things coming off the bench. So he's so versatile. But then you think back and say, hang on a second, this bloke's had to guard Steph Curry in an NBL Finals series.
That's right.
So these guys,
I'm sure he can handle it. I'm sure he can handle it.
These guys are tough, but they're probably not quite in that category just yet.
Today, both teams playing in the Life Changer Cup. Life Changer is a preventative mental health and wellbeing non-profit that empowers young people to live thriving, resilient lives. And it's the launch of the Life Changer Cup, which will see Melbourne and Illawarra play for that honour every single time and raise awareness and much-needed funds for Life Changer. Great to have their involvement and great to get this one underway. Sydney and New Zealand to come next at Kudos Bank Arena. This is a game where we learn a lot about both teams. Golding fouled early.
We're really setting the tone there. I don't think we've seen a possession all season where Melbourne United had that many passes and got through that action. It was good execution. They got a little bit of Spain action here on the wing. Eventually ends up with Golding. He goes in there and the penetration, foul on Harvey.
You know what I like about this? They went at Golding the first play of the game. I've been begging for this for the whole year. Get him going early, let him knock down a couple of threes, and that's how Melbourne United can thrive in this game.
Tyler Harvey coming off 23 points on Thursday night, 6 of 7 from outside against the Sydney Kings. Nice look for Jessup. Big knockdown to start off for Illawarra.
We only had 6 field goal attempts in that win a couple of days ago. So as you're talking about getting Golding going, I reckon that was by design to try and get Jessup into the action early as well.
You know what's different, guys? When we played against Gorgon, it was all defense, defense, defense. Seems like he's changed his philosophy now, and it's all about the offensive end.
Number 1 scoring team in the competition, Coach.
Absolutely.
Well, I don't know if it's all about the offensive end, but certainly got better balanced than what we saw previously.
Reith off balance. Offensive rebound by Froling. He wants to get back to his left side. Luala-Chul got a piece of it.
Ball! Pass it,
And we talk about the wall being an offensive threat, but he is a massive guy, and he can change shots on the defensive end as well.
He gets inside, went upstairs. Couldn't finish off the dunk. And Illawarra have got an extra head. Reith top of the key. That jumps out of the cylinder. Only a couple of minutes played. A fast start to this one. Agata hard of the rack. No good.
It's an 0-4 start for Melbourne United.
Foul will be on Dellavedova. Nice drive from Antonius Cleveland.
Great drive, and to get Dellavedova that first foul. Ooh.
And, you know, we're talking about, Jack, you mentioned that the Illawarra Hawks are the highest scoring team in the competition at 91.8 points per game, and they're taking the most shots as well at 80. But here's the thing. Last year, the Hawks ended the season as the lowest scoring team, but still took the most shots. So a lot of the times you're asking, well, is it the singer or the song? Is it the system and what Coach is talking about, the points of emphasis, or is it just the people putting the ball in the hole? And this season, they've been able to to do that and taking a lot of shots, but connecting more regularly. After that subpar performance by the Phoenix yesterday, they now lead the competition in field goal percentages.
His master coach, Brian Gorgian, only 1 of 5 against Melbourne United in his return to the NBL, and winning last year's NBL Cup. Golding from the elbow. Jack White active on the offensive glass. Couldn't reel it in, though. Jessup has Froling all the way. Can't lay it up. 2 free throws coming.
He's been tough. He's aggressive. He pushes it. When you see a 5-man can bring it down the court and kick it to him on a wing and he can still get to the basket, then he's one of the most valuable big men in the league.
You talk about his upside, still a young man, and to me, with the way in which we saw him shooting the ball against the Sydney Kings, the step out, the little pick and pops, those mid-range three ball, and the action there, being able to fill a lane in transition. NBA scouts love those characteristics when you're 6'10 plus.
How close is he, Copes, do you think?
Look, the fact that the NBL is on the rise and there are millions of scouts checking the NBL out, he'd be close. If he can continue to play the way he's playing, he'd definitely be close.
Jack White, first 3 of the season in his return to the starting lineup. Puts Melbourne on the board.
Good.
Just settles them. A lot of energy inside the Wynn Entertainment Centre. Reith back to the basket. Over the top. Antonius Cleveland was able to jump uncontested.
It's interesting with their matchup. Like, Matthew Dellavedova wasn't on Tyler Harvey. They decided to go with a guarder. Oh, there's a tech.
Gee. There's the Jack White knockdown.
One shot and back here. One shot, Scotty. Threw the ball at him as he was running away. He did not, he threw it at him.
Second shot, no box out. Easy for Cleveland. Tech foul.
You heard the explanation from Michael Aylen, our senior official. The ball wasn't returned properly. It was thrown at the official.
Someone's not happy.
No.
Well, you do have to be a little cautious. You can't just piff the ball back at the...
Well, it depends on if you're throwing it at his legs or if you're throwing it at his head.
Well, either way, if it's not done the right way, this is warranted a technical foul.
Come on, Drew. You're getting soft, pal. You're getting soft.
Froling. Closeout came from Illawarra. He blocked the shot. That's 2.
And that's what he does. He brings that presence inside. Again, he's a great offensive player, but you're not going to just bring it to him in his face. He's big enough to make you change your shot.
Only Joe Chi from the Phoenix has blocked more shots this season than Illawarra. Now Reith extending over the top of Caleb Agata. That'll be good for his confidence.
Absolutely, after last week's win.
We're using his size, but regardless of his size, that is a tough turnaround. Mid-range turnaround. How's the feed by Dellavedova? JLA just goes up and tucks it in, but beautiful feed, entry pass.
2 of South Sudanese best.
Jessup with a hand in the face. That's short. Rebound Illawarra. And Jack White in transition, trying to get busy. Draws a foul on Cleveland.
I love the way he plays. So athletic, man. He gets to the basket. He goes at every rebound. He just brings that extra X factor to Melbourne United.
It is, and his biggest improvement, I saw Jack White when he was a junior. He's always had that explosive hops, but the way in which he's been able to develop his perimeter game and also putting it to the floor in transition. He can handle the ball, cross guys over like we saw there, and attack the rim. And obviously had some outstanding coaching. 4 years under Mike Krzyzewski at the University of Duke. Captain, if you don't mind. He was the captain of the University of Duke. So
that says a lot. That says a lot right there.
It says a lot about his personality and how he is as a teammate.
Only saw him for 11 games last year due to a serious Achilles injury. He looks fit. Reith drains the deep one.
Well, Reith had a quiet one, and by that, it wasn't a terrible game. against Sydney. Still had the 12 points, I think it was, but he's come out in aggressive mode.
Matty Dellavedova says, wait a minute, big fella, whatever you can do, I can do better.
Well, yes, that's been something that Matthew Dellavedova this season, only shooting at 32% from the field and 3 of 22 from the three-point line. I just got a sense, Copes, that he's been trying to prove everyone wrong.
Absolutely.
With some of the shots he's been taking.
Yeah, and I've seen, look, we know he can knock the shot down. Like you said, I think he's under a little bit of pressure to let people know, I'm just not out here to play defense. I can put the ball in the hole as well. I'm an ex-NBA superstar.
Superstar?
Yeah, he was a superstar at one stage, yes.
There he is with the rebound. 10, 6, and 5 are his numbers against the Breakers on Friday. Had a presence at both ends of the floor. Kicks out for White. Has already drained 1-3. That one not a mile away. Rebound, Lawala Chul. Goes back up into it. To Reese says no.
Good rim protection. And I'm sure Brian Gorge would be upset that they didn't come up with the second shot, but really good recovery and timing by Reith.
Foul on Jessup. Go back to Friday night's game. Melbourne won the rebound count 52-26 over the New Zealand Breakers. The plus 26 in that number was the best in the 235 games that Melbourne United have played here in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
And that's fantastic for Melbourne United, but it's not good enough for New Zealand. There's no way you can let a team out-rebound you by 20-plus rebounds.
And to go with that, they had 48 points in the paint. Illich steps inside. Off target. Xavier Rattan-Mays, who many have got as the leading candidate for Sixth Man of the Year so far, out for Froling.
Whoa, he's back at it again.
Well, it's nice form. He sets his feet, and I think now we've seen what last game and knocking that one down, you're going to have to do a better job of closing out. They help off, and they'll be harder with that closeout.
Oh,
Jack White.
That's what I'm talking about.
Stuffs it back in.
Was that with the left? Was that the left?
That's explosive. Not a lot of run-up either. Just coming off the 2 feet and goes up and stuffs it in with authority.
Jessup 1 from 3 to start the game.
Got both these teams shooting below 40%, but this is a high-quality contest.
Nice pass from Illy underneath for Lawala Chul.
I haven't seen this many dunks. And I'm trying to think. Jeez.
Long may it continue.
Wow.
Rattan-Mays opens his account.
Brian Gorgeon's seen enough. He calls 2. That's clearly 2-3 zone. Oh, that's the zone buster right there, Chris Golding.
Jessup runs the floor up ahead. Nice D from Golding.
That's our ball.
Gorgeon said it's our ball.
Look at that, Coach. Jack White straight off the 2 feet and down low. Great pass. Kind Lawala Chul.
Tip back. Gives Illawarra another look at it. They lead by 2. Rattan-Mays had his pass intercepted. Nice hands from Hook Porty, the next start. Dellavedova in the paint. Nice floater.
Somebody's got in Deli's ear and said, hey, pal, you got to put it up, son. He's getting it going.
He is. He was aggressive on that one. Nice little floater. Gets it to drop.
He's got 5 points to start the game. Jack White, the leading scorer so far with 7. Speaking of floaters, there's Harvey.
That should count.
It is. Peatling, I think, as that ball was... The foul was called, the whistle blows, and then he goes up and... Did he actually touch it? No.
He hit the ring before the ball got there, though, I thought.
Well, that might be the explanation. If he's moved the rim, you don't have to do much, but a little action on that rim.
That's something you used to do, Julie?
Every now and again. It was more like hitting the net and a finger getting caught in the net.
The very bottom of the net, too. It's Hook Porty. Nice take. And 1.
That was pretty easy, wasn't it? A little simple middle on-ball pick. Hook Party rolls. and gets an easy one and chance to make it a three-point play.
And it looks like...
Here's Harvey, and
Oh,
I grabbed it. Grabbed the rim.
Yep.
Didn't hit the ball, he grabbed the rim. How's the camera work that we provide here at the Worldwide Leader? Unbelievable stuff.
Got so many toys, Drewy, that we get all of these shots. Beautiful work from our team.
We've got some toys to play with this season.
Are you on the analyzer today?
They're not ready to. I'm ready.
They're not ready to listen to
feel
you.
like I'm only a DP.
I'm not sure you are ready.
I feel I am.
Rattan Mays against the shot clock. Rebound by Isaac White, getting some first quarter minutes. We saw him play some early games in the season, but haven't seen him out there for a while. Brian Goorjian going to the young South Australian. Froling had White backdoor. Pass knocked down by Agata. He wants to take it to the other end at White.
It looks like Melbourne United have said, look, we're going to take that ball to the hole or get it inside this first quarter and see what happens.
Froling threw it away.
Well, you're spot on, Coach. Both these teams, they're both only 2 or 4 from the three-point line. So they've only taken 4 three-point field goals each. And really aggressive. Chris Golding doesn't look all that happy.
No.
Hands crossed.
Do you think he wanted to come off?
Knowing Chris, no.
Fucking hack.
Oh,
Whoa.
just the extra adjective thrown in there that we apologise for. That's part of the game, though.
Peatling from the top of the key.
As I say that, the big man takes a three-pointer. Come on, Peatling, get the ball inside.
5 of 8 from outside coming into tonight. Oh, today. Rattan Mays.
Bad pass.
Pass misses the target. Agata gets beyond Froling and lays it up.
It's a bad pass.
It is. Turnovers could get expensive, but do you reckon some of the younger coaches would have got away with that type of language that Brian Goorjian just used then?
No. Foul will be on Hook Porting. Final minute of the opening quarter. Averaging 6 points a game, 5 rebounds. The young German next up.
Yeah, he's after it. Wasn't sure about his role early on, but he's really found his rhythm the
He's
last
settled
few
down a
games.
little bit, hasn't he? He has settled down, yes.
Coach, just on that, do you think it's fair that when you've got someone of legendary status, that you allow him a little bit more leeway?
100%.
That's okay, is it?
He's put the hard work in. He's done all the right things. Give him a little leeway. Give him a little leeway. Goorjian deserves it. He's the best coach in the history
That
of the
doesn't
NBL.
mean you can
Mate,
speak like that to the officials.
No,
I would
listen.
have thought that there should be a bit of, well, one rule
well, listen.
for one.
Hey, listen to this guy talking about one rule.
No, I'm just saying.
Here's a guy that plays 48 minutes a game, and other guys are playing 10. One rule.
No, but I'm just saying in discipline areas like that.
Newley fires away. Nice work from Melbourne on the offensive glass. Last touch by Froling. First season as an Illawarra Hawk, Harry Froling, former NBL Rookie of the Year.
And he had a sort of a disappointing year last year, but he's under Goorjian, you see he will get better. There's no question about it.
Had 7 and 5 on Thursday against the Sydney Kings. Hook Porty. I'm sorry, that's Illawarra Chul, I should say, back out there. From the inbound, had his shirt held, fought through that, and eventually got called.
Wow.
Well, the Hawks, one of their weaknesses, if you're trying to find them this season, has been their work on the glass. And here's another example of it. That's one you need to come up with. Froling just goes for the ball rather than stepping into Joe Illawarra Chul, and as such, they get another shot. The Illawarra Hawks 7th in the competition in rebounding.
I wouldn't be upset to see Ogilvie in there, just to bang bodies and slow Big Joe down a little bit.
Haven't seen a lot of AJ Ogilvie in the 4 games so far this year.
No, little bits and pieces, but they're stacked in that position. Reith, 2 Froling boys. It's Hard to find those minutes.
3-second differential between game and shot clock. Rattan Mays takes it to the basket. Tip back out for the Hawks. Conrad from the free throw line doesn't get it to go. Illy got it away from half court. It's everything that we thought it was going to be so far. Quarter time at the Wynn Entertainment Centre on Sunday Hoops. It's Melbourne leading 22-20 in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Two of the best teams in the Hungry Jacks NBL going head-to-head on Sunday Hoops, and so far it's been a really, really entertaining contest. Melbourne United leading 22-20 over the Illawarra Hawks. This one is going to go all the way down to the stretch, and the winner of our Kmart gift card for today is Linda Atkinson. After years of asking, finally got a basketball hoop for Mother's Day. And my daughter loves it as well, so there you go.
There you go.
Great. Love to see that. The kids get enough shots in the backyard. That's where it all begins. And I tell you what, we have got a high-quality contest, and I say that on the basis that both these teams are shooting only at 35%. So it hasn't been really high shooting as Froling goes down, but this is entertaining. It's highly competitive, quality players, and great basketball to watch.
Is that Shane Froling? That was Shane Froling on screen, was it? The dad? That was.
Yeah, a quick glimpse.
That was him, yes. Put your glasses on, Gaze.
Fair basketballing family, the Frolings, aren't they?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Keely and Alicia, pretty handy in their own right. Mum and Dad were good. Harvey crosses over on a Garter.
Oh, dear.
Fires away. 1 of 3 to start the game. Tyler Harvey. Illawarra Chul in the paint. Took on Harry Froling and scores over the top of it.
He's tough. He is tough. Again, we talk about his shot selection, but when you're that big and you're that skilled, why wouldn't you take those shots?
A fumble by Froling. Did his best Sean Bruce impersonation, but threw it away. Illawarra Chul gets upstairs. And Melbourne have started this quarter well as we check in with Joe Healy, courtside.
Yeah, thanks, guys. We obviously talked before the game about the significance of the bigs and the matchups there, and we are definitely seeing that out there right now. I was listening to Dean Bickerman and Melbourne United at quarter time, and Dean was just asking his guys to make better decisions in offense. So they went a little bit earlier a few times in that first quarter, so he just wants them to slow the ball down a little bit, get into the paint a bit more, and he also wants them to tidy up their fouls and overboards, guys.
Absolutely. And we spoke about that. Get the ball inside. to your two bigs, with Jack White also being very aggressive, 7 points and 5 rebounds. That helps.
Well, they spread it around. In that first quarter, everyone, the points were evenly distributed. In fact, every starter, bar Chris Golding, scored in that first quarter.
Nice hands from Brad Newley. Wins possession back for Melbourne.
Well, they've really, the last 3 minutes or so of the first quarter, you could see the defense crank up. They didn't score. They were 0-4 in the last 3 minutes. And coming out here, Melbourne United just going to another level. It's like they've got different gears on the defensive end, and when they flip the switch, they're as good as anyone in the competition on the defensive end.
Newley gives Melbourne another look at it. Now Garner from outside. Smart play from Tyler Harvey.
Very smart, very smart. Is it fair to say Dean Bickerman's probably the best defensive coach in the league?
Well, in the last 5 games, Copes, their opponents have only been averaging 65 points a game. And they're holding their opponents to the lowest scores this season, 71 points at the lowest field goal percentage at 36. They are outstanding numbers.
Harvey from the top of the key. His first 3 of the afternoon after 6 on Thursday night.
And you don't want to let him see that eye get going early. He gets going, he's hard to stop. I don't care who you got on him.
And his last 6 games in this gym, Copes, he's had 20 or more. He loves playing at the Wynn Entertainment Centre.
If you're a shooter, you love playing. This is one of, to me, one of the best, if not the best gym to shoot of any in the competition.
Is it?
Absolutely,
yes,
it is.
Why? Is it the ambience? Is it the rims? What is it?
The rims were great for me. I love. They look like hoops.
It's just one of those venues that it's the whole package. It's how the stands are. It's one of the small gyms. It's a beautiful gym to play on. Now, I know it's had some faults with leaky roofs and scoreboard problems and other issues, but purely from a playing standpoint, it is a great place to play a game of basketball, and you just felt good. For some reason, I don't know whether it's just...
It's the vibe.
There is a vibe about it that you just feel like everything you throw up is going to go in. Oh, just got that off.
Cleveland.
Did he try to dunk that?
He absolutely tried to dunk that. Well, Chul might have worried him out of it in the end. He rolls to the basket. Has Barlow wide open, feet set. Not that time. 6 of 18 this season from beyond the arc, Dave Barlow. It'll be an Illawarra ball as we check in with Joe Healy, courtside.
Just on what Drew was saying there about Wynn Entertainment Centre being a great place for shooters, last time Melbourne United were here and I was courtside, Chris Golding had 25 in the first half. Now he's 0 from 2 this evening, so if I'm Dean Bickerman, I want to get my star shooter into the game a little bit more. He obviously loves this court.
Yep, absolutely. And Drew, you know, on that, if you've had 25 and a half in any building, the next time you go, you're looking to get that ball up. It is what it is.
0 from 2. So far, Golding in only 7 minutes. Nice take, Froling. Forces Hook Porty into his 3rd foul. So there's an issue for Dean Bickerman. His backup big man is going to have to sit with 3 fouls next to his name.
2 shots. Let's go, White.
It is. We've seen how they can cover that area, Melbourne United, of course, when you got JLA
and Pete Ling.
And they got a number of different combinations that you can throw it. But I found it really interesting as you went through and preparing for the game. You see the way in which Brian Goorjian is running this team. As I mentioned off the top, really only using 7 guys playing and double-figure minutes on average, and 5 of those guys in 30+. So he's got his core group that he likes to go with, and he's pretty much sticking with it so far.
Dellavedova was given room. He's second 3 of the game.
Delly's having a day, isn't he?
8 points, 3 of 5 from the field to go with 3 dimes. Melbourne lead it by 1. Jessup had the ball knocked away from him by Barlow. 6 on the shot clock for Illawarra. It's Cleveland from the elbow, off the front of the iron. Now Garda trying to go coast to coast at the other end. Shoveled a pass to Hook Porty. He lost the ball, but as Jessup grabbed it, he was out of bounds.
This is intense. Both teams really trying to push the ball up the floor, explore their opportunities in that first 6 to 8 seconds to see what they can get. And that time, able to work the ball back. But that last possession with Dave Barlow, when you're going to switch or you're going to hard show, the way in which you dig at the ball, and he did that beautifully against a really good ball carrier. He reached in, got his hand in, a little deflection, and textbook in how you deal with those hard shows or switches.
There's Dellavedova.
We talked about how nice it is to shoot in the gym. Delly's letting you see it, isn't he?
That did not look like a guy that was 3 of 22 coming into this game from the three-point line.
He's shooting it like Golding shoots it at the Wynn Entertainment Centre. Jessup got away from Golding. Nice cut. Nice find from Froling.
Haven't you seen what's going on? You got to dunk that. Come on, Jessup.
They only count for 2 cups.
No, you know what?
Hook Porty off the pick and roll, travels. Hawks are having a good couple of minutes here.
They are.
And Brian Gorshin just wants to have a chat about things and maybe give the group a bit of a breather. 32-30 at the Wynn Entertainment Centre. 5 minutes and 22 seconds before half-time. Still to come later on today, Sydney and the New Zealand Breakers at Kudos Bank Arena. As we head into the Illawarra Hawks huddle.
Now, let's hey, defensively, you're playing the scout. All right, Goulding, none. All right, Barlow, none. All right, that's what we're guarding. All right, just be aware he's hot now. Be aware he's hot, but you're doing the right thing. Rebounding's key. Rebounding's key. The on ball now, they're trying to stretch you and go to him quick. So let's go some drops. Some drops. Plug that thing up. Guard, get over the top. 53 here. 53 here. You got shake or you got C5. What do you want this one? C5. All right, now in the C5, roll hard to the front of the rim. Here we go. You're ghosting. You're ghosting.
Gordon is talking, when he was talking about these guys in their three-pointers, none for Goulding, none for Barlow. He's right. You're playing the scout, which means we'll let Delly take the shot. But Delly's hot now, so you got to change it up a little bit. You got to put your hand on.
Well, but having said that, he also said, hey, listen, he's hot, so carry hand. But he's going to make Delly make a few more before he actually changes
But you got to think about it. You definitely got to think about it now, though, because it's knocked down a couple.
3 of 3, you have to. But he's also would have seen 3 of 22 and saying, well, he needs a little bit more before I'm going to change what we're doing.
And Delly's smart enough to know that as well. If you got to sit off me, I got to take the shots.
3 ball from Justinian Jessup, the next star, who's up to 9 points. Illawarra's leading scorer, 3 of 5 shooting. High standard affair between 2 playoff-bound teams, you'd think.
I love the way Dean rides those referees every play, huh?
Well, he's worried about Chris Goulding. They ran a play for him off a couple of pin downs and low screens, and he thought that he was being held.
DeWatt-Reith had the hard show from Hook Porty, so he put the ball on the floor and lays it up instead.
And Hook Porty with 3 fouls can't be as aggressive, so you obviously got to give the layup.
Nice pass. Dellavedova finds Jack White under the basket.
We've seen it all from Delly. The creativity. He's got the 11 points, 4 assists to go along with those 11 points.
Top 3 in the competition. Delly and Dimes. He's dropped some good ones in this first half. Now he's open at the top of the key.
Come on, Delly. Come on, Delly. Go to work, son. Go to work. Love to see it. Love to see it. Love to see it.
A perfect 4 of 4 from outside for Matthew Dellavedova.
And he was under a bit of pressure there coming from behind.
Give it to Delly.
Well, he's up ahead. There he is. Wow. He's got 16 points in the opening half.
Just forget about everything I said in the beginning of the opening. He's not going to fill up the stat sheet. Forget about all of that. Delhi's having a game, bro.
Well, I reckon after he's made that one, Brian Goorjian on this timeout might be reconsidering.
There you go.
And this guy's just too hot at the moment. There was that little pressure coming from behind I was talking about. But that just looked, the tempo of that shot just looked a whole lot better. It looked a little smoother from the three-point line. And
I was going to say, let's go hustle with the 1-4 right now and just keep it in front. The three's the thing that's hurting it, we're keeping it going, right? But the 1-4 we can hustle, the 5 you stay with your regular coverage.
Inside the Melbourne United huddle here.
At the line right
Dean
there.
Vickerman and Justin Shaw, the key assistant coach, having a chat about things. The great Darryl McDonald with the group today as well.
D-Mac made a trip, huh? Making a trip. There you go.
Got to keep rebounding as a team. 100.
Hey, I was just saying to Whitey on that one, forced him that way. I'm asking him to get upright to the line right now. All right, so you go ahead and make a real good stab at that one. You can get back in front on that free ball. All right, hey, it's where they go right now as a three. Hey, give me a Horns heat right now. All right, give me a Horns heat. Hard over the top. You got back screen. You got hitting Joe. All right, corner. You guys are flying off this one.
he's Brian. Clearly, Dean Vickerman happy with the proceedings right now. They've got their offense kicking over nicely thanks to that man in his screen, Matty Dellavedova. And, you know, I think the fact that Brian Goorjian's down the other end would have a little something in Delhi's mind as well.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
With the Boomers,
Yep.
and what he's been through with the Boomers. And that's something that Brian Goorjian has to deal with every single game. Every game, other teams, there's the national coach.
Yep.
Here's my platform to try and show something. And his experiences Matthew Dellavedova has had at the international level, I think that he'd be keen to make a statement to Brian as well about where his future may be, because there are a lot of people suggesting, well, no, I shouldn't say a lot of people, but there have been some conversations about where, with Giddy and other players coming through the ranks, whether Matty Dellavedova, as you think 3 years' time, whether he'd still be involved.
Well, it's a good showing. 16 points is the most by any United player in a first half this season. He's got an appetite for more. There he is, looking for 5.
Oh! Go to work, son. Go to work.
Well,
Is that Goulding in a Dellavedova jersey? What's going on here?
Drew, he's just about knocked the commentary desk over here.
I love it. I love the confidence when you see someone in these moments in sport. When you see players in these moments where they're just feeling it and they're seeing it, I don't care what sport it is, you just can feel it, and it's a thing of beauty to watch. It's one of the great things, and for him to be living this.
Get him the ball, man. Get it.
Golding's got the mismatch. You can hear Dean Vickerman say it. Golding wants the 3 ball. He jumps out. 42-37. Melbourne have had an outstanding second quarter, led by Dellavedova. Illawarra, only 17 points in the term. Golding for 3. That was blocked.
Wow.
Nice play from Jessup to get a hand on that 3 ball.
Golding looks like he's forcing it. He knows that he hasn't got his shot going. Wants to see, he hasn't scored. He's 0-5 now, but it's like he's trying to force it a little bit. And Jessup just continues this high-quality game that we've seen. 2 of the top teams. You know what I love about what Delhi's doing here today as well is he's the guy that's one of the most experienced in the competition, but works, from what I'm told, works at his craft harder than anyone else. He understands that his shot is, he's tried to change his technique, which I question the merits of, but he's still going about it and now getting a reward for all that hard work. And, you know, he might be looking and saying, oh, hang on, I'm putting in all these hours and I'm 3 of 22 and I'm not getting the reward. Well, today, it's about persistence. It's about continuing the volume of work. And when it comes to shooting, the volume of work can help you enormously. And it is finally kicking in for Delhi this afternoon.
First points, in fact, second bucket of the game for Caleb Agata. It's 16 on Friday and they win over New Zealand. Harvey Defers to Rattan Mays. That'll be a foul on Agata. Only the second of the period for Melbourne.
And it's great that you don't lose comp. Delhi was 1 of 12 in his last 4 games from the three-point line.
Wow.
And comes out and 5 of 5.
Rattan Mays really growing in his role.
He probably start for most other teams in the NBL. He's got good. He's a smart player, can shoot the ball, distribute well.
All eyes on Dellavedova here. He's attracting a crowd all of a sudden. This time he's in the paint. Harvey got a piece of the shot and screams up the other end of the floor for Illawarra. Crossed over on Agata. Now he's blocked. Help D came from Peatling.
A little bit too much with that ball. Get off of it and go get it back.
Agata pulls up, can't knock it down. Offensive rebound, Illawarra Chul. Agata relocates, nails it the second time around. Joe Illawarra Chul has 8 boards in a half of basketball. To go with his 9 points, 22 and 12 on Friday. Having a major say in this game again. Froling for 3. Make that 9 rebounds for JLA. Last possession of the first half will be with United. Agata drives. Dellavedova to finish the half. Oh, not that time. 5-point lead for Melbourne United at half-time. A really impressive second quarter showing.
Fantastic. Look, Dellavedova can carry. If he can continue to play the way he's playing, you get Goulding going in the second half, the Melbourne United have a real chance of winning this game.
Real high-quality affair. We've got both these teams playing at both ends of the floor. The defense has been good, and they're still good enough to find ways to create shots and get some good looks.
Let's get courtside to Jo Healy. She's got the man of the moment.
I certainly do. Delhi, 19 points in a half of basketball. What has got you feeling so good out there?
You know, we're running the floor well, and that just opened up some trail threes. I think we've done a good job defensively, holding them down to 42. They like to get out in transition and shoot a lot of threes.
You've had Drewy and Leonard falling off their seats with the way that you're shooting out there in that first half. You've got the edge on them at the moment. What do you need to tighten up in order to lock this in the second?
I think defend without fouling, and then if we can get the rebound and go, you know, we can get our own transition going.
Good luck for the rest of it. Well, there's 5 points. Melbourne United leading the Illawarra Hawks here at Wynn Entertainment Centre. We'll be back to unpack the first half after the break. You're watching the Hungry Jacks NBL.
Great to have you with us on Sunday Hoops here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Illawarra and Melbourne have put on a show in the opening half at the Win Entertainment Centre, and it's United away from their home floor that lead at 47-42.
Well, they did, and they've earned this lead. And that man on your screen, Matthew Dellavedova, yeah, we see a little float up, but it's his work from the three-point line that, let's be honest, it's been a surprise. 5 of 5 from the three-point line, and he's done it, looked really confident, and high-quality basketball at both ends of the floor. A lot of talent out there, and that's the scout. You heard Brian Goorjian in that commentary about Matthew Dellavedova. They wanted to let it fly. Not that man, though, that's for sure. But he's proven them wrong. He's proven the scout wrong, and this is where the coach, you really got to start to think, well, maybe we need to switch on those on-balls a little bit more. Maybe we need a hard show rather than going underneath. So they've got some decisions to make. 19 points, he's still got the 4 assists. Joe Luala-Chul, he's putting up some numbers with the, look at that, 9 and 9 in a half of basketball, and Jessup with 12 points. He only took 6 shots the other night. Shooting percentages, well, they really started to lift, and this is where you've got high-quality game playing in an intensity, and normally you think, oh, well, they're only shooting 40%, the game not so great. This is fantastic because it's a genuine contest at both ends of the floor.
Copes, let's talk about Matthew Dellavedova and his shooting. I know you're loving this. Everyone's loving this. There's been some discussion, some commentary about the way that Delly's shooting the basketball, and the numbers back it up, but he's flying in the face of all of that today.
Look, in the beginning of the commentary, we spoke about him being one of those guys who plays defense and who's not filling the stat sheet, but he's coming out and proving us wrong. He's shooting the ball well. His confidence is sky high. Again, Goorjian would definitely have to go in and change his scout because you got to guard this guy now. He's 5 for 6 in the first half. There's no way you can let him sit there and shoot the ball like
and I don't know whether it's just me, and maybe because they're going in, you have a different perspective, but it looks like his tech just looks a little bit smoother. I think Felix Van Hoff, in one of the tweets he sent out, described his shot. It looked like one of them looked like a cat cuffing up a furball, the way in which he shot through. That's what Felix was saying, Coach.
You're rolling through it.
Well, that's true. Then this game, he's proving us all wrong. But when you're 3 of 22, but there was a little issue, you know, like a cat, like there's that. And I can sort of relate to it in a funny sort of way. But it just looks a little smoother. From when he gets to that set position to the release, it looks a little better. And, hey, 5 of 5 is going on beautifully.
Copes, make some sense of this, for goodness sake. Joe Luala-Chul backing up his performance on Friday night. And the win over New Zealand, he torched Gianni Wetzel, and he's having a big first half, 9 and 9 today.
Again, look, they got the ball into him early. A couple of dunks, gets his confidence going. I mean, he's the kind of guy that doesn't really need to be have a confidence builder. He rebounds the ball well. He changes shots. And that's what I love about him. He's aggressive, and you have to guard him. You have to know where he is at all times on the floor.
Drew, we go back to what you were saying in the pre-game too about JLA, how Melbourne really runs systems to get him involved. You can see the match up there against DeWatt Reith, which has been a good one, but Melbourne go out of their way to get JLA involved.
Well, it is, and they would know and see exactly what we do. When they understand when he gets the ball, highly likely, unless there's some sort of something unbelievable happens, he is going to shoot it. But that's by design. They want to play through him with some of the matchups. You see the way he can put the ball to the floor. And down the other end, DeWatt Reith uses his size. He has been outstanding this season. And there's the rim protection. He can shoot the ball from the perimeter. Good rebounder. Can get himself, foul trouble can be a little of a challenge for him, but that's a really nice stroke. But down the JLA has been really good, and although the numbers are quite similar, you'd have to give the nod to JLA so far just by a little bit.
Overall, Copes, we've got a serious game of basketball in our hands right now, don't we?
And that's what we expected. 2 of the top coaches in the league, 2 of the top teams. We got a game on our hands.
We most certainly do. It's 47-42 at half-time at the Win Entertainment Centre. And as we head to the break, you too can play like a pro thanks to Bunnings Warehouse, who are giving you the chance to win your very own court at home. You can enter now at win.nbl.com.au/Bunnings.
I was out there every day, so I think if I had a full court, you wouldn't get me inside.
Most of the games I played on the lower hoop, just to show my supreme athleticism. I only worked on shooting, which is why that's really all I can do.
When you're 8 years old or 10 years old, it's the best thing in the world.
I had a basketball hoop and a little trampoline. I used to play back there for hours with my brother, and
get beat up a lot, but it was a lot of fun in the meantime.
And I hope that one day when I grow up, I'll be able to give my kids a court at home as well.
That's where I lost a lot of games to my brother at.
It started at this height, and every year I got older, it moved higher and higher until I got to 10 foot, and I'm doing the same with my kids back at home.
My dad built one, so I had a little bit of like a half court going on, and that made my life the best, so I could never complain as a kid.
And that was kind of like our sanctuary, our getaway from everything.
Welcome back. It's United leading the Hawks by 5 points here in Wollongong. I've got Brian Goorjian with me. Gorge, perhaps not your typical scorers from Melbourne's point of view, but they're still putting points on the board, winning the rebound count as well. What was the message at halftime?
Well, we're playing off their non-shooters, and we worried about what that's going to mean rebounding-wise, and we've got penalized there. And then Goulding and Barlow has been our keys statistically, and I told them at halftime, you're doing what I asked. The scout, we're playing Delhi how we want to play Delhi. We're going the under-on balls, we're packing, we're, contesting the three, but not going after them, and it's hurt us. So some adjustments here in the second half, but the rebounding count and the professionalism of this organization over time, just efficiency. We take a bad shot now and then, we miss a block out, they don't make those mistakes, and that's been the difference.
Brian Goorjian with Joe Healy just a few moments ago. Welcome back to Sunday Hoops, and it's raining threes for Melbourne United. Jack White draining another one. Andrew Gaze and Leonard Copeland alongside me. Sydney and New Zealand coming up next at Kudos Bank Arena. And this is now a game-high 8-point lead for Melbourne. Froling, offensive rebound, turned around and had life that was made difficult by the big presence of Illawarra.
And even if he doesn't block a shot, he changes the shot, which is very valuable.
No foul over the back on Agata. Dellavedova, 5 of 6 from outside.
This is going up.
Shot clock at 3. In fact, 2. Cleveland blocks the shot. At the other end of the floor, has Reith underneath. Nice hands from Golding.
That was Dean Vickerman. Just wanted him to shoot the ball. I think he was a little concerned that Agata was yo-yoing it with a bit too much. And then yo-yoed it into trouble. And down the other end, Golding. Mark Slocum, our stat man, does a terrific job of providing us with some information and said this is the only second time in Matthew Dellavedova in his NBA, NBL career that he's made 5 3-pointers in a game.
Wow.
And that's over 500 games. And you've got to go back to Cleveland at Detroit in 2014. He was 5 of 7 from NBA range. So he's on a career night.
Illawarra takes it hard at Reith. Draws contact. Gets himself back on the free throw line.
Just feel like that Melbourne United really starting to put the clamps on the defensive end. Such hard work for Illawarra in the half court. When they get out and push it like we saw the last time, they can get out and find some easier opportunities in the transition. But in that half court game, Melbourne United, they've got all the answers on the defensive end so far.
And that's Dean's philosophy. He's got Dellavedova and Agata out there playing defense. Jack White crashing the boards, and Big Joe and Goulding taking shots.
Some free burgers for basketball fans in New South Wales. The code word is calm. Dwight Reith, turnaround Jay is good.
He is a superstar. Of all the players we talk about NBA potential, he may not be the best player in our league, but with his size and his skill sets, to me, he is a NBA-type guy because he can shoot the ball, he's got good size, he can move his feet, get up and down the floor.
Now, Brian Gorshin might want the officials to take a look at this. Dellavedova wanted a foul at Melbourne's end of the floor.
I think Brian Gorshin wanted the upgrade. Is that what you're suggesting?
That was the furthest away. I've got no clue.
I don't think that is.
No.
He's just sliding his feet, trying to get in front. He was in front, so almost any foul in transition these days, the coaches are starting to pipe up and try to get the 2 in possession.
Hands from Daly, outstanding. Strips Cleveland of it. 19 points in the first half. Leads all scorers, Matthew Dellavedova. Justinian Jessup, the leading scorer for Illawarra with 12.
Giving the ball to Melbourne United.
Off the hip, I thought so, because Delhi swiped at the ball and I think it came off the thigh.
Golding scoreless in the opening half. Got in the paint. Couldn't finish off with the left hand. 2-on-1 up ahead. Delhi took position.
Whoa.
Takes the charge.
I don't know about that one. Got to see that again.
Well, that's really been his calling card, isn't it? These effort plays on the defensive end.
Yeah.
Twist his body a little bit.
A couple of Boomers teammates there from the Olympics, Dellavedova and Reith.
No, he does not.
High emotion. A lot on the line for these two teams. White off the pick and roll. Nice D from Froling. White got it back though.
And that's what he does, he hustles.
Here's Golding. Short.
Well short too. And that's the sign of things getting involved in your head. When you're that short and miss it that badly, that's a long, deep 3.
2 of 7 for the afternoon, Tyler Harvey. Now Garner for Melbourne United, threw it up there. Rebound to Watt Reith. Jessup feeling really good about himself this afternoon. That's 5 of 7 from the field for the next start.
It is, and that's what he can do. He's got long-range capabilities, and that time, quick shot.
Golding off the layup. Easy bucket for Melbourne. That won't please Brian Goorjian.
Finally, get yourself going.
Harvey turned around, had a lot of space. Jack White with his 9th rebound in the game. Pass underneath for the Illawarra Chul.
And that'll hurt Brian Goorjian. Defensive transition. It wasn't like it was explosively quick. There was time to make those adjustments. And when you're really trying to hedge into this lead, they're the types of baskets you've got to be more competitive on.
We're going to head into the Illawarra huddle and take a listen to Brian Goorjian. Could be an animated one.
You work your ass off. The curl on that side, you can see it a mile away. Curl, it's a switch. Quick shot. All right? This is a grind. It's here. It's toughness. We get good stops when you bring it up, and it's not with the one. We're in reverse. Middle pick and roll. When we run it set, let's go here. Run a running up, run 53. All right, twice. 53 twice, or up on the push-up. You're still looking at step-ups. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So if you step up, you're rolling, you're filling behind. All right, right here, look, we got 53, shake it. 53, shake it.
Well, that one there, you couldn't tell, but the where he's pointing, Brian Goorjian sees that Jessup's getting it going, and he wants to in the half-court sets. So yeah, they've got their action for what they want to do in the offensive transition, but in the half-court, they want to give this guy a few more looks, and why wouldn't you? That's a good call by Brian Goorjian. 5 of 7 from the field, a perfect 4 of 4 from the three-point line for his 15 points.
33% across the season from outside the arc, Justinian Jessup. Here he is from the timeout. He's passed into the corner for Cleveland.
Goorjian also spoke about early shots.
Yeah.
You know, that hurts you when you're not making those shots, because Melbourne United will get it and go with it.
And then Agata takes it up the other end with a dagger. That's a 10-point lead for the first time in the game. So we take a look at Caleb Agata.
Yeah,
firing away.
I'm sure that wouldn't have been the case what Brian Goorjian was hoping to do. He doesn't want to go underneath on Agata and just allow him to shoot that. So that's just a breakdown in the scout and what I would imagine they're trying to do with how they're going to guard Agata.
Only 5 points in the quarter so far for Illawarra. Rattan Mays fouled. He's got 3 free throws coming as we get courtside to Joe Healy.
As you can imagine at the moment, guys, really positive and intense energy coming out of United right now. The guys giving props to the likes of Jack White and JLA for the work that they're doing at the rim. Dean Bickman also just talking about being disciplined with their foul count and also urging his guys to stay focused on the game and keep out of any conversations with the referees.
Thank you, Joe. Xavier Rattan Mays. Cope's question without notice. Homicide was in your chair on Thursday night, I should say, said that he's got Xavier Rattan Mays as the leading 6th man of the year right now. Would you agree with that?
I do agree with it because, again, I think this guy can start for most teams in the NBL right now. He's smart. He passes the ball well. He can score from the 3 or taking it to the hole. So, and he's got a lot of experience. So, I agree with Homicide. I don't agree with a lot of things Homicide say, but I agree with this one.
That felt weird for you and Homicide to agree on something.
Shout out to Homicide. What's up, my brother?
He's in a pool somewhere, isn't he? I saw.
Working on his tan.
Come on, Corey. Dellavedova lob. Tough one for Illawarra Chul to drag in. Shot clock down to 6. He's doubled up. There's a spare player somewhere. It's Illy. He misses off hands. Melbourne get another look at it. And go back down to Illawarra Chul. This time it's Harry Froling. Now his brother Sam running the floor. There's Dellavedova being a nuisance defensively. Froling did really well to get it out to Jessup.
Jessup's feeling it. He is feeling it.
It is in good effort by Froling. He was surrounded by two, but was able to get free. And Dellavedova
said, anything you can do, I can do better.
Continues to play and shoot the ball with extraordinary confidence.
6 of 7 on the afternoon for Matthew Dellavedova. Nice move.
Oh,
Cleveland used his body.
Tough. That's tough.
Back to a 6-point game. The lead was as high as 10 only a couple of minutes ago. The Hawks have had to make a couple of adjustments, and they've been good ones. The Froling brothers combined to stop Illawarra that time. Now Cleveland takes it to the other end. He scored back-to-back buckets. Illawarra are back within 4.
It is, and like we said about the Hawks a couple of possessions ago, Dean Vickerman would not be happy. Guy catches at the foul line at the other end and goes coast to coast for almost an uncontested layup in transition.
Golding's layup is good.
And this is a concerning sign. Chris Golding, they had him on lockdown from the three-point line, but now he's hit his last 2, and relatively easy ones, so his confidence starts to go to another level.
Harry Froling stepping out. His second 3 of the game. Illawarra shooting the 3 ball at 52%.
This is a high-quality game with 2 of the best teams in the league.
Oh, dear.
Here we go.
And that's
Here we go.
Coach, that's, you know what it's like. You're struggling, you got 0 points, you get a few cheapies around the basket, and that wasn't one of these easier shots we've seen here, but because you feel good about yourself, they become, within between your ears, a lot easier to take.
Absolutely. You see that ball go in the hole, it's a lot easier.
Cleveland. Help came from Illawarra.
Come on, John!
That's another block for him. 3 for the afternoon. Dellavedova fires away.
Wow.
It is raining threes for Matthew Dellavedova.
Delly is on fire.
7 of 8 now. He's never done that before in his career. Well, across his NBA, NBL career. Most threes in a game for him.
Froling.
We got a shootout. We have a shootout, ladies and gentlemen.
Would you have believed me if I had said that it was Matthew Dellavedova and Harry Froling trading threes?
Write your own ticket on that happening.
What a contest we've got at the Wynn Entertainment Centre. Hope you're enjoying Sunday Hoops. Offensive rebound, Illawarra. Well short. 6-point game.
Keep going! Keep going! Go, G!
That pass knocked down. Golding in the open court. Threw it up for White. That could have been worse than what it was. Luckily, Jack White's okay. Cleveland pulls up in transition. It's back to 3, the difference.
Well, Brian Goorjian was questioning the early 3 balls in the last time out, and they've come back, Harry Froling, and now it's Cleveland. Froling's sort of in that semi-transition off a one-pass offense, but that time Cleveland just walks into a 3. And this is entertaining basketball. 11 of 19 from the 3-point line, 58% for the Illawarra Hawks. And, wow, not too bad either for the Melbourne United. 12 of 29 at 41% from the 3-point line. This has been a great shooting display from beyond the arc. And there you see the numbers. And strangely enough, the free throws, we haven't seen a lot of them by either team, relatively speaking.
What about Matthew Dellavedova as we take a look at the SodaStream shot chart? Only 2 other players this year have had 7 threes or more. We'll tell you about it after this.
Mason's got pin away in space. All right, again, get that interaction. Caleb's coming flying off you. Shilly doesn't have nothing. We're coming back to that on ball and then get downhill. All right,
Let's go.
Melbourne up 3. So Will McDowell-White against the Adelaide 36ers, and that day that he went off, had 7 threes in a game. Chris Golding against New Zealand had 7 as well. But Matthew Dellavedova, 7 of 8 from beyond the arc. And a reminder, he came into today shooting the 3 ball at 13% for the season.
3 of 22. 1 of 12 in his last 4 games.
Now, what does this do for the next time he's on the floor? Do teams now change their style, Julie?
I think he needs to do a little bit more than just the 1.
but you still got to know where he is.
Well, what we've seen here tonight, but as they say, you know, you got to, one swallow doesn't make a summer.
Is that what they say?
That's what they say. So you just need a little bit more, but right now, if I'm Brian Georgian, you've really got to test your confidence in your preparation and what you're doing, given the way Delhi's shooting it.
Agata with his 9th rebound of the game. To go with 10 points. Ooh, stepping back for 3.
Let it go, let it go.
And that's out of bounds. Illawarra ball. They're down 3 as we check in with Joe Healy courtside.
Yeah, the Hawks will be happy with back-to-back stops there, guys. Brian Goorjian happy with their offense at the moment, but he said defense is big and rebounds are big. They're looking for a really strong effort to end this quarter.
That rebound count, 37-33 Melbourne's way. Illawarra have done a good job in the 3rd quarter to square that ledger. Rattan Mays steps into the 3-ball. It jumps out. The final minute of the 3rd quarter. Agata. Good look for Peatling. He can't get it to go.
Hey, again!
Xavier Rattan Mays walks the ball up the floor. Illawarra down 10. Midway through the 3rd quarter. Is that over and back? Dean Vickerman certainly thought so.
Thought it was a foul. He got pushed, didn't he?
DeWalt Reith pops out for 3. Tied ball game at 68.
This is outstanding work from beyond the arc. Big, small, anyone, they're all knocking them down. 12 of 22 for the Illawarra Hawks.
Melbourne look to finish the quarter with momentum. Cleveland all up and in on Agata, who drew a foul.
Gee, it's been a lot of contact on drives we've seen throughout the game. Cleveland sliding his feet, gets called for the foul.
Hey, front here, front here.
1.3 seconds left.
Well, Brian Goorjian again testing the limits of the officials.
Did I say we could give him a little leeway?
That's a lot of leeway.
I'll take it back.
That's a lot of leeway.
I'm taking it back, bro. Come on, Brian.
It's hearing me.
Agata makes both.
Sometimes as a coach, you want to get that technical foul in order for the ref to wake the referees up.
What a game we've got. This is as good as we've seen at any stage in the Hungry Jacks NBL so far. A quarter to play at the Wynn Entertainment Centre, and it's Melbourne by 2. You're watching Sunday Hoops. Don't go too far. Hope you're enjoying Sunday Hoops in the Hungry Jacks NBL. How could you not be? It's 70-68 at three-quarter time. Andrew Gaze and Leonard Coach.
Jack, if you're not enjoying this one, then you need to go with the lawn bowls, which I know that you're
Don't
right.
you dare.
No, I'm just
Don't
saying.
you dare.
Or something else, because this is
You
fantastic.
wash your mouth out, Andrew.
No, I'm just saying you need to perhaps go elsewhere, because this is fantastic. In fact, I watched a lot of basketball in recent time. This is, from entertainment value, as good as any NBA game you'll see of late anyway.
Absolutely. Dunks, three-pointers, we got it all.
So get underway for the last quarter. Froling, another rebound. That pass, though, errant.
I think it was a little deflection. Agata from behind just was able to hit it out of his hands, which really saved the play. It was going to be a layup.
Illy for three.
Drew, what do you change? What did Gorgon have to say at the end of the third, or Dean? What did they say to
Well,
try
I
to
think
get over the top?
both coaches be relatively happy of what's going on at both ends of the floor. Yeah, there's been a couple of breakdowns in the defensive transition, but this one's going to be about the small things. Who can make the big shots? I don't think you need to try and draw up anything radical, other than they're the types of differences. Can you make that open three or not?
Well, both teams have made 12 threes, as per Statman Mark Slocum, the best in the business. First time this season, Coach, that both teams have made 12 threes in a game, and we've still got a quarter to go.
That's fantastic. You can't, you said it, if you can't enjoy this game, there's something wrong. This is high quality.
Cleveland.
Although he's taken the last 3 threes and missed all 3 of them. Perhaps.
And when you miss 2, then that early one is the one. That's a bad shot. When if you're feeling it and you're in rhythm, maybe, but not that one.
Froling did well. Tapped it to the advantage of Cleveland. Euro step on the wall.
How nice is that? How nice is that? Gave him the bebop boot. Bebop boot. Gave him the bebop boot.
70 each. Early stages of the final quarter.
I don't like the shot selection.
Well, Gardner's pushing it, isn't he? He's 4 of 14, and the last few have been forced.
They look spent.
Golding, Dellavedova checking back in. Let me ask you about Tyler Harvey, gentlemen. 5 points on the game of 2 of 8.
Well, this is what happens when I think you've got a team where you've got your stars, and as it was the other night when they had that win, it was Jessup that only had the 6 field goal attempts. Matthew Dellavedova back in here. Tyler Harvey, 2 of 8. He hasn't had a lot of shots, but it's one when you've got your running mate cooking, you're prepared to divert, and that's a sign of a good team. You're prepared to sacrifice your game when someone else is getting it going. But having said that, fourth quarter is when Harvey, he's clutch in big moments.
Cleveland, listen, it's not going, bro. Get it inside, take it to the hole, or pass that ball. He's taking 4 threes in a matter of 2 minutes.
Daly, short that time. Loose ball. Goes Illawarra's way. Now Cleveland has Froling running the floor. Good look. Froling couldn't finish off. Now Illy trying to work together with Lawala Chul. Lost it, then won it back. Dellavedova. Yes, no. It looked good out of the hand. Well done, Peatling.
Get down. Get down. Sit down. Would you like a sub? Would you like a sub?
Here it is in the rebounding contest. Wow. Didn't look like there was a lot of contact there. I think that Peatling just fell over. Illawarra probably a little hard done by.
Brian Gorson not happy. Hawkheads not happy.
He's not. He's right there. He doesn't see it.
He's on this one.
He doesn't make it up. Well, he did make it up. It's what he thinks happened. That guy's the guy that's... I'm telling you, his body's... The defender's body...
Brian, I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you in the ball if you're here. Right? Brian, I'm not talking to you
Brian's
anymore.
only taking the foul here.
Well, Brian's just working the officials, and on this occasion, I agree with him. He's concerned that the guy right underneath the basket didn't see anything. Yes, Peatling fell over, but he's falling over trying to draw the foul, and from what we saw, there was no contact.
Gee, the intensity in this game, off the charts. 6 minutes and 50 remaining. Melbourne looking for their 6th win of their season and for 6 in a row. Illawarra looking for win number 5 as Harvey's going to get himself on the free throw line. Doubleheader here on Sunday Hoops in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Sydney and New Zealand coming up next from Kudos Bank Arena.
Huge games for both those teams. Both of them coming off some losses. Looking to get back on that winners column. And for the Sydney Kings, they've had a tough run of injuries. RJ Hunter out for the season, patella injury. Jordan Hunter, another one that out for the season.
Froling threw it onto a foot.
That's hustle.
Gets
That
it back for
fantastic.
Illawarra.
That is fantastic hustle by the big fella.
11 points, 3 rebounds. It's as confident as we've seen Harry Froling in the best part of 2.5 seasons, I think, Coach.
Absolutely. He didn't have the best year last year, but he was Rookie of the Year. Was that in Brisbane with Joey Wright? That was in
Adelaide.
Adelaide, sorry, with Joey Wright. And again, under Gorgon, I reckon you'll see a better Froling.
And a couple of big threes in the game. 3 of them, in fact. Reith, step back 2, hand in the face from Hook Porty, made life difficult. Scores locked away at 71. The 29th meeting between these two teams. Melbourne have won their last 4 in this venue and 7 of 8 in total. This little handoff, Dellavedova for Peatling. Points will count.
Good penetration. Delhi draws. Just another one that perhaps Froling with his hip stepped into Peatling. That was the line for the bonus.
Short on the extra. 58% from the free throw line this afternoon, Melbourne. Illawarra, not much better at 60%. Both teams leaving a few out there.
Scoring's really dried up in this last quarter as well.
Rattan Mays deep on the 3. There's DeWalt Reith able to rebound offensively without a body on him. Dellavedova is fouled by Rattan Mays.
Certainly dried up, hasn't it?
It's 3-all. It's 3-all in the last quarter, and we've played 4 and a few ticks over 4 minutes. And you just get a sense that Illawarra, after that really hot start from the three-point line, now starting to let them fly, and they're coming up short and not connecting on them. And you can understand why they were full of confidence with it, where they were at three-quarter time, but now they're not falling, need to find the alternative.
Are they the right shots, or are they the wrong people taking them?
A bit of both, I think, given the way they were shooting it from the three-point line. Reach behind, from behind, gets called for the foul.
I wonder whether Brian Gorgon might challenge this.
Hard when you're swiping from behind.
Very hard.
Finally, Brian Gorgon got a tech.
He's been sailing pretty close to the wind today, Brian Gorgon.
We've been expecting that for a quarter and a half.
And that was probably the least of the things he said.
I was talking to my guy, not about him. I didn't say anything to him.
Brian, stop screaming at me.
And it's an accumulation of comments where really he should have been teched earlier.
Yep.
And finally, the patience wears thin. And in isolation, that probably wasn't warranted, but the others that they didn't call were absolutely warranted.
Free throw counts. 3-point lead for Melbourne. Dellavedova on the drive. There'll be another one on Rattan Mays, and now Delhi will step to the free throw line.
Is that 5 fouls for this quarter? That is.
That is. Yes. And 4 on Rattan Mays. Brian Gorshin calling a timeout. Things simmering at the Win Entertainment Centre.
And they need to be careful not to lose their focus.
It's Melbourne by 3 on Sunday Hoops. Intense stage of the game right now, Copes.
I think Brian needs to calm down himself because his players see him a little erratic, very erratic. Calm everything down, have a quick chat, get back online and ready to roll.
Melbourne with 2 timeouts left. Illawarra with 1 left as well, and still a long way to go in this game. I think one thing's very clear. These two are 2 of the very best in it this season.
You would not be surprised to see these 2 teams in the playoffs at the end of the year.
Not just the playoffs. I think the championship series, yep, it wouldn't be out of the blue or a surprise.
Thank you, White.
5 minutes 26 remaining on Sunday Hoops at the Win Entertainment Centre. And if you think that you could drain one from full court, then this is the competition for you. The details are on your screen right now. You can shoot from full court for $100,000, $50K from half court. Now, former teammate of yours, Nigel Purchase.
Yes, we were both in that game.
Has been mentioned a lot this weekend.
Well, no, it wasn't there, but I was there before your time.
As being the man to go to.
Well, he was. He hit the one from one end of the floor to the other, and there's never been a longer three-point made in the NBL.
Someone spoke yesterday about he did it, and then the next day he did a promotion.
Yeah.
The kids were yelling, and he did it again.
Yeah, Simon Mitchell told the story to Liam Santamaria. Said they went the next day, and he was asked to do it, and he did it again.
That's Nigel for you.
Jessup, top of the key 3, jumps out. Loose ball falls Illawarra's way. They play through Jessup again. This time he puts the ball on the floor. Floater doesn't go. Foul on Golding.
All of a sudden, no one can score. In that third quarter, the Hawks were 6 of 11 from the three-point line. United were 5 of 11. Right now, the scores in the fourth here are 3-6. And no three-pointers made in the fourth. So it's really flipped from three-quarter time as far as putting the ball in the hole. And there have been some open looks by both these teams. They just haven't been able to knock them down.
Is that fatigue? Is that pressure? What do you think?
I think it's both. Combination of the circumstances.
Rattan Mays, deep 2. Off target.
There was a lid on that basket, isn't it?
The drought continues in the last quarter. Daly, little floater goes. The first United player in history to have 7 threes and 7 assists in a game, and he's got 27 points across the afternoon.
He's doing it at the other end too. He's guarding Tyler Harvey, and he has been blanketed. 2 of 8. This is the time we've seen the evidence of last season and even bits and pieces this season. This last 5 minutes is usually Tyler Harvey time. He puts matters in his own hands, and Brian Gorshin will make sure they're calling plays to get him involved. But he's got one of the world's great defenders in Matthew Dellavedova on him.
Oh, no way! Harry Froling, you are kidding. Shot clock ticking away. He can't miss. 3 of 5 for the afternoon. Big rebound, Hook Porty. Was in there for a while, but gets the points to count.
That guy is an athlete. He is a real athlete. Just looks like Wollongong are trying to do too much. They're not running a structure. Everyone's just trying to take over themselves and do whatever they want.
And everything's coming off the bounce. There's not a lot of action before we get that penetration. Not a lot of man movement, ball movement. And as such, the percentages are dropping off. And Harvey can't get involved. Now, like I said, he's dealing with a handful in Matthew Dellavedova, but somehow or other they've got to try and find a way to get him going.
Harvey got away from Dellavedova. That was a long three that's out of play. Is this where you'd like to... Do they maybe go back to basics, try and get to Reith in the low block or something like that?
Well, they're the options they've had, and Reith has shown that even from that mid-range, uses his size, can rise up over his opponents.
3 minutes and 30 seconds to play on Sunday Hoops. Dellavedova picks up his dribble. Down low to White. Harvey pounces on that loose one. Doesn't have anything ahead. Froling at the top of the key. The show came. Illawarra swats that out of there.
Whoa. Great play.
And then White follows at the other end. 3 minutes remaining, and Melbourne have got themselves to a 6-point lead again.
And it's the defense. You saw it that last play with JLA. They're the match-saving plays. And Froling just needed to be a little bit more aggressive at the rim. Gave JLA a chance. Now Goulding gets pulled for a foul, trying to fight over that screen.
82-74. 2 minutes, 46 seconds left.
Thank you. Played 3 times.
Dean Vickerman riding every possession for Melbourne. Reith, top of the key. Off the back of the iron.
He can't buy one.
6 of 11 for the afternoon.
Only 3 they made in this one, that Hail Mary by Froling.
Delhi looks underneath for Illawarra. He travels. He was about to fall out of play regardless.
Sometimes you can overcomplicate your offense. What about having to just a cross screen for a big?
Well, there we see it down there. See the mismatch. They had Reith down low with a guarder on him. They ignore it, but still come up with the basket. And Mays getting to the hoop.
Delhi cutting through the D and then finishes off the window. Matthew Dellavedova has had an afternoon.
He has had an afternoon. You can say that again.
Well, it's a career night for him when it comes to shooting the ball. Just in so many different ways. He was knocking down the 3 ball. Now he's slicing and dicing, getting to the rim. 29 points, 9 assists.
Oh.
Fair outing.
That is some sort of performance, considering he was averaging 8 points a game coming into today.
And shooting 13% from the 3-point line.
He has taken over in a big way. 84-76.
This is a huge possession coming up for the Illawarra Hawks with only a couple of minutes remaining, trailing it by 8. The clock starts to become a real problem if they come up short on this one. And I think some sort of action that includes both Harvey and Jessup. You know that there's pressure going to be there, and extending it out, and the way in which they're locking and trailing on that and trying to help expose yourself to the slip or the post-up. You saw their last possession. Reith was wide open underneath with a guarder on him. Now, they still were able to, Rathan May still was able to get past his man and make a relatively easy basket, but that type of action, I think, given the way Melbourne United are playing, is what they should be looking to get to.
We've just got an issue with our clocks at the moment, so appreciate your patience. It's 84-76.
And what about the job Melbourne United did on Sam Froling? Here's a guy coming off a career night, 27 and 10. He's really struggled. Shooting the ball, outstanding on the glass, 15 boards, but 1 of 9. And now that these last few minutes, they need scoring. Brian Goorjian's gone away from Sam Froling.
Minute 57 left. Is that the Jack White effect?
A combination, the way in which they're playing. They do it by committee collectively.
Harvey drains a much-needed 3 for Illawarra.
This is what I've been talking about. You can keep him down for a long time, but in crunch time, he is not afraid of the moment. and prepared to back himself and put the game in his hands.
Delhi with 31. Almost threw that away. Shot clock down to 3. Golding got the 3 ball away. Off the front of the iron. Agata threw it back in. Golding walking the tightrope.
How is that not a... That's a controlled pass. How is that not a backcourt violation?
I don't know. I don't know.
I can't help you. What? Harvey for 3 again. Not that time.
Bad shot. Probably should have kicked that to a wide open guy.
A minute to play. Melbourne lead it by 5 and can drain the full 24 off the clock. This trip down the floor.
Don't need to foul now, though.
And they do. Delhi on the line.
Gee. Well, there's pressure all over the floor by the look of things. Maybe got it wrong somehow or other, but gee, just the possession before, it just looked like Garter had passed it back into the backcourt. And there was no backcourt violation called. Chris Golding checking out of the game, as we've got some problems with our technology here as well.
7 of 11 from the stripe today.
And they're talking about it.
Stepped up in a big way today.
$33 points.
Don't forget about the 9 assists as well.
Jessup drives. Can't bank it home, so they went for the early shot.
It was a good look too, Jessup on his left hand.
And they create a turnover. Brian Corson called for the trap. Harvey, it had to go. Cleveland, offensive rebound is fouled. Points are going to count.
Wow, that's nice.
And that keeps him with a small
open a prayer.
Glimmer of hope.
Open a prayer.
It's only small. Needs to make this one to cut it to 4. Need to stop. Here it is. And there you see the foul. Just a reach in by Agata. Great work on the glass by Cleveland.
He makes the bonus. Timeout. 30 seconds to play. Melbourne up 5 and will be in possession out of the timeout.
Well, they won't advance it because they want to make sure that they don't lose that time, because they want to eat as much of the clock off as they can. And Illawarra will be trying to figure out, and I suspect that they'll be putting pressure in the backcourt, trying to get a turnover, and they're as good as any in the competition at doing. We saw that in the last possession. They were able to cough the ball up out of Delhi's hands with that double team. But I think once it gets into the front court, that's when you'll see them trying to commit a foul, and you've got to play the free throw game.
Probably want to get Goulding back in the game now, too, because you guys that are shooting free throws, you want those to be guaranteed.
Absolutely, because it's not just about, you are going to be wanting shooting free throws, but it's also taking care of the ball. Yep. And those experienced heads that are out there, and Goulding's one of them.
It's a really challenging period here for Illawarra. Coach, they've got Perth on Saturday. We haven't seen the Wildcats for a few weeks. And then they play them again the following round. So Illawarra's next 4. Next Saturday, home against Perth. Monday versus the Adelaide 36ers, who really need to start to show something. And then they play Perth again and go to Cairns. So challenging 5-game stretch that they just started.
Absolutely. And although it looks like they may go down here, Gorgon said it at halftime. They're following my scout. And no one expected Dellavedova to come out and shoot the way he shot tonight. So, again, if it's a loss, you gotta look at the anomalies. Dellavedova shooting the ball the way he shot it.
Melbourne have got Adelaide at the Entertainment Centre on Saturday. Turnover off the inbound. Reith takes the 3. Cleveland's there to hustle. He's lost it. What were they thinking? What were thinking? He threw it away. Rattan Mays lays it up. What
What an extraordinary sequence of plays.
20 seconds of madness.
Just horrible plays all over the place that comes up to the benefit of the Illawarra Hawks. Incredible turnover down the other end. Horrific shot selection by Reed. And then JLA just threw it to the opposition for a layup.
How long before you foul here? Because you got to foul.
I think you're pressuring in the backcourt. You're trying to get a trap and wait till it gets in the front court before you foul.
Ready, go!
You want to give yourself time enough so if he does make the free throws, you got a shot. Or miss the free throws, you got a shot.
Melbourne by 2. They foul immediately. Cleveland made a play at the ball.
Probably the wrong guy to foul, but...
Chris Golding looks like he's a little hurt. He's only had 7 free throws this season, 6 of 7 from the free throw line, but have a look at this. Ball's inbounded, so you won't there. And just a hit on the head, I think. Just ran into Jessup's, Tyler's hip, I think it was. 81% on his score, 82, we'll round it up, 81.7. So 82% free throw shooter across his career. So this wouldn't have been the one that they were hoping to send to the free throw line.
No issues in the world.
Didn't look like a mistake. Didn't flinch.
To make it a 4-point game. Misses.
What?
Oh, Melbourne get it back and they have to foul immediately.
Inexcusable. An offensive rebound off a free throw at the most crucial time of the game. One, it was a surprise that Golding missed. He's not happy with someone in the audience. And 2, they somehow or other, they're able to come up with it.
Now it's Caleb Agata's turn. It's a 2-possession game.
Well, for all the greatness we saw in the first 3 quarters, this 4th quarter, it's been almost the opposite.
Yep.
And Agata's got it back again. Inexcusable from Illawarra. And now they're going to find it hard. They have to foul. Back-to-back offensive rebounds from Melbourne United.
Off a free throw.
As Gordon rubs his head in disgust.
Oh, that is a locker room that you would not want to be in about 5 minutes' time if you're the Illawarra Hawks.
And here's the thing, they'll go back over this tape, and the vast majority of it, they'll love. They'll love the way they were playing defense and what they were doing. And yeah, there was always a few breakdowns here or there, but both teams, even though Melbourne United are going to win this, maybe.
Melbourne have left a few out there. Jessup gets it up the floor quickly, fires away for 3. United take care of it. A 6-game winning streak. The hottest team in the Hungry Jacks NBL right now have got the job done in tough circumstances over Illawarra, 88-84. What a game.
Well, it was an incredible game. A really high standard. These 2 teams are going to be featuring in playoff basketball on the evidence that we've seen today. A long, long way to go, but 2 quality teams with incredible depth of talent. Not just the depth, but also at the top end, what they're bringing to the table. And that man on your screen, Matthew Dellavedova, a career night, afternoon for him. 33 points, 7-11 from the 3-point line, 9 assists, 4 rebounds. Extraordinary performance by him.
Second highest score by a United player in their history. Casper Ware holds the record for 38 against the Perth Wildcats. But Delly, our Footlocker player of the game, and maybe might have proved a few wrong today as well, Copes.
Absolutely. He proved me wrong. Look, we know Delly's a superstar. We know he can play. We know what he brings to the table. No one in their right mind would have thought he was going to be 7 for 11 tonight.
We're going to come back and wrap it up on the other side of this. Melbourne United winners today, 88-84 on Sunday Hoops in the Hungry Jacks NBL. You're watching Sunday Hoops in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Melbourne United winning today over the Illawarra Hawks 88-84. Two teams who we all expect to be there at the back end of the season, and this game did not disappoint.
A really high-quality game for 3 quarters, and it was only the competitive nature of that fourth that really kept it. It's almost like these teams just under the pressure of the moment and the way in which they played that fourth period was uncharacteristic of what we've seen. But that man, Matthew Dellavedova, now I believe his career high when he played at St Mary's was 32, so in elite level basketball, highest score he's ever had in an elite level basketball game, including 7 threes. Incredible individual display by Matthew Dellavedova. And at the other end, he had to do some heavy lifting as well. He did a great job on Tyler Harvey. There we see the leading scorers. Jefferson had his 18 at a really good clip. Cleveland took some bad shots, I thought.